Brandon Halverson from Traverse City, Michigan. I played for the Hartford Wolfpack in the AHL last year. Traverse City is the place I grew up. It's my home at heart. It's the best place to be during the summer. It's more than just a home to me. I have such great parents and great friends that I can come home to and be surrounded by and just feel the love when I'm home. Most of the time my summer consists of training in the morning, and after that I'm outside, I'm doing something. I'm at the beach or I'm going fishing. My focus is 2 hours out of the day where I'm grinding and working as hard as I can, getting ready for the season. And the rest of the time, I'm trying to enjoy life. There's a lot of people that surround me in my life that contribute a lot, and I have a lot of thanks to give to them for where I'm at. My parents, and honestly, I talk to my father about every single day, tell him about what I'm doing, how practice went today, how the workout went today, what I'm doing, and he's always given me really great advice. He used to be a boxer back in the day. He thinks he could have gone pro. I'd like to think so too, if he didn't have to start a family. But he gives a lot of things, like as a goalie, like I'm alone on the ice. It's kind of like I'm kind of by myself, just like he was in the ring. So there's a lot of things he can relate to mentally that helps me as a goalie. And just if things are going bad or having a couple rough games or something like that, it's just one conversation with him on the phone puts me right back into a good place.
From the time he was a toddler, he would sit in front of the TV and watch the game nonstop and mimic the moves of a goalie. And around 4 years old, he said, "Mom, I want to play hockey someday, and I'm going to play for the Red Wings."
If he was skating, he would rollerblade, and he'd run a puck back here in this backyard here, and then down the alley. And as his friends would come over, and the football, the basketball, it seemed like whatever he touched, he had a talent into it. And so I always thought that he always missed out in, I think, some ways of playing high school sports, but obviously he's chosen his field, and that's where we're going with it.
Once we started travel hockey, he had to make a decision. Okay, we're going to start traveling now. We can only invest in one type of equipment, either player or goalie. We could only afford the one. So he decided, I'm going to be a goalie. He just said, all right, let's go, let's do this.
I started out obviously in Traverse City playing AA. I was very fortunate. I had a pretty cool coach growing up, Murphy, who I was the only goalie my entire career while I was here. There was other goalies trying out as well. They were younger, trying to come up, and he still cut them and kept me as the only goalie. He wanted me in every game, which I think was a huge part of my development. I moved away when I was 14, started playing AAA, played for Victory Honda, lived with a new family. That was my first year living with a new family. I lived with the Beams. And as a 14-year-old kid in high school, in a new high school, that's about as tough as it gets, trying to cope with things like that and not having your parents around and listening to a new family and living with other siblings. So it was difficult for me. I look back and I couldn't thank them enough for the things I learned from living in that house, and they're still super good, dear friends to me today.
For a month, I always kind of thought, like, what am I doing? Like, is this the kind of thing to do, to let your kid go and pursue his dreams? So it was difficult for the first month to let him go, but this is what he chose to do, so we all supported him, and as a family, we obviously took the time and drive down there and keep him upbeat as a goaltender. You struggle at times with that.
Played for Little Caesars. I lived with the Lansukis, and that's another great family that I still talk to them all the time. Played for the Oakland Grizzlies. That was my last year at AAA. That was a good year. That was probably my best year, the best way to go out, because I wanted to go play for, I guess, a lower end team. They needed a goalie, and I thought, there's my chance to get shots. If I was playing most of the games, I was getting 35 plus shots a night, and without that development, who knows where I could have ended up. I got drafted into the Sioux after my 16-year-old year with Little Caesars. When I was 18, I started with the Sioux Greyhounds, backed up Matt Murray. Didn't play a lot of games, played 19 games, expected as a rookie. I wasn't expecting to go in and play really hardly at all. Just wanted to learn and work hard, and that's when I first started working with John Elkin. I was a raw goalie coming into the OHL, and he perfected me. But yeah, I backed up Matt Murray that year, which was a really amazing experience. And I've always tried to play like him, and Elkin kind of taught us the same way. So that's someone I look up to in the NHL, that's for sure. When I was on the Grizzlies, we were in a tournament. It was the first time an NHL scout said something about me, and it was the New York Rangers. I was stoked. It was after we beat Victory Honda, I think 2-1, outshot like 45 or 50 to 15 or 20. We beat them, and New York, they liked what they saw there, because they're pretty sure they were there to watch another player, but they saw me. It was funny. I had teammates that would always joke around the rest of the year that you're going to be a New York Ranger, just to mess with me. And it's funny how things work out. Draft day for me was a calm day. I was just hoping to get drafted. I didn't think I was going to get drafted high. I was hoping to get picked. I just wanted to see my name, and I didn't care which round, what pick. It didn't matter to me. I was with my family. I was watching on TV, and my name popped up, like New York Rangers. They selected me as the first pick, second round. And it was pretty much just tears after that, tears of joy, and just couldn't believe it happened. It was unbelievable.
You see him take off as a kid, and you support his dream. You watch him, and you shoot pucks on him, and you keep him up. You keep him hold his head up. You make him walk right, make him talk. And everybody tells him what to do as a goaltender, so sometimes it gets overwhelming. And then you see him move away and achieve that. And you watch on this TV, you watch him get drafted. You thank all the powers that be to let him walk like that and achieve his dreams of all the other kids that work toward that. So you feel like, as parents, it's truly it's a blessing that he's worked himself into that position.
Getting my first NHL start, it was pretty insane. I was pretty calm. I knew I was going to be up there for probably one game, and I was going to be on the bench, so I just take it calmly. As the game went on, the team was kind of let Hank out to dry a little bit. So I think it was the start of the third. One of the assistants told me just to be ready. He doesn't know what he's gonna do. He might throw you in. I think right there is when I started sweating, because I just got real nervous, because I didn't think it was gonna be an option at that point. I had a good 8 minutes to calm it down and get back to normal before I'd go in if there was a chance. And once they scored the fifth goal, he turned and looked at me and said, "You're going in." And I was like, "Okay, all right, fine." Grabbed the helmet, threw it on. And honestly, I thought I'd normally be pretty nervous jumping in my first game, and I was very calm. I was very just professional. I tried to be just professional about it. It was just incredible. I don't think I realized it until afterwards just how awesome it was. I think the first shot was Duchesne. Duchesne got a shot on me, and that was just, I just remember right after I'd say, like, okay, that was Duchesne. That was pretty cool. That was awesome. What motivates me every day to get me out of bed is, you know, that taste of the NHL. It's so close, but it's so far away, and that's, I mean, it's something I've worked for my entire life. I didn't sacrifice all this for nothing. I mean, the NHL is everything. It's what every kid dreams of. It's the reason why everyone's out on the ice right now competing, is to go make the NHL, to be a professional, to finally say that I made it. No one's ever going to be perfect. No one's ever going to be finally at this moment where they just have it all. Everyone's always improving. Everyone's always getting better. I think the biggest thing is keeping a level head and having that mental toughness every single day to not let things get under your skin. I don't like to let anything bother me anymore. Goals are going in. They're gonna go in. It's just let it go. Move on to the next shot. Move on to the next day. Move on to the next game. Obviously, I want to play in the NHL one day. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I know where I'm at. I know where I played last season. I was up and down, up with New York, back down, the East Coast. Right now, I'm focusing on one thing at a time. I'm focusing on training, focusing on getting stronger, getting mentally stronger. What I envision for myself this coming season, I want to play in the AHL. I want to play. I want to start. I want to battle with somebody. Nothing's ever going to come easy. You know, no one's going to hand you a starting job, or there's nothing like that's ever going to happen. I want to work for it. I want to beat out the next guy, because in the end, it's going to feel that much better. I just want to perform. I want to work my hardest. I want to worry about myself and let my game show. And eventually, I'm going to be a starting goalie in NHL.